Hey guys, what up? It's your boy Con TDK, Mr. Soul Snappers. All them damn rogues. Damn busload of rogues coming this way, man. I'm I ain't stupid. Let's kind of mosey on over here. Yeah, they don't see me. Some of that Hanna-Barbera, Wile E. Coyote, Tom and Jerry type hide behind the tree. Alright, anyway. This week's good or garbage, it's all about LMGs. If you need some stuff for your LMG, you need some gloves or some whatever, LMGs, it's this week. So let's go in, check out the blueprints. Let's go. In the special equipment vendor section, it is looking quite bleak. The only things that I can recommend for the newer agent, and this is even kind of putting it a stretch, is the Hunter's Faith knee pads at 191. It has a major attribute of 6% damage to elites, and the minor attributes, depending on how you play your game, this may have some kind of effect for you. If you don't find yourself in blind, shock, or bleed situations, which basically means a lot of the PvP stuff, then you don't have to worry about this, but this could come in handy for PvE. But it does have a pulse duration of 9.5. It has a stamina attribute of 482, which isn't too bad and could be helpful for newer agents. Now for the middle of the road agents that are a little bit more veteran, they have two pairs of gloves, which are quite strange. If you look at them, they have the exact same talent. The only difference is the role that they have on them. One is for firearms, the other one is for electronics. Personally, I would recommend the cheaper version, which is the firearms variant, just because it comes with a little bit more health on kill, and it comes with turret damage as opposed to support station and slightly more LMG damage. Both of them work LMG, health on kill, and pistol, but the attributes are a little different. If you run a turret, then the cheaper version would probably be better, but if you are a support role player and you run the support station, then this might be okay for you. The only real reason that I could see you choosing that one, but really and truly the bottom one is a bit better option, just because you would really only need to re-roll the pistol damage for something else, whereas with the other version you're kind of stuck with electronics and pistol, or you'd have to choose one of the other. So it kind of works out for whichever one you like. Choose the one that you think is best. Personally, I would go with the cheaper version that is 334 Phoenix credits. Now let's go down to the basement and see what they've got going on down there. Alright, now in the special equipment vendor in the basement, the recommendations actually are a little bit tough. For the newer agent, the best thing that I can recommend is the Hunter's Faith mask. Just because it has firearms, it has 11% damage to elites that increase kill XP, which could help you rank up in the dark zone and in the underground a bit faster. Secret Mind if you use it, and just remember, if you have 2 pieces of Hunter's Faith, you get a bonus to marksman critical hit damage. 3 pieces gets you 20% damage to elites, and then of course you get the Hunter's Faith bonus, which is kind of garbage. So I would kind of say stick with the 2 or 3 piece. Now for the more advanced agent, and actually the newer agents could probably benefit from this as well, these gunslinger gloves. These gunslinger gloves crap all over the other gloves that were in the upstairs, just because if we look at them again, we have astute, we have a nice base of 528 firearms, but this time the major attributes are LMG damage at 642, critical hit chance 5.5, critical hit damage 38, plus you get that turret damage at 8% again. And what can you complain about with that? That's just really good for a pair of gloves. These are worth looking at if you need a pair of 204 gloves. If you are a newer agent or a middle of the road agent, just hitting rank 30, or maybe you're kind of edging up to 31, this is probably a nice little piece for you to help get you moving. Now let's move on over to see what are the blueprints for the special blueprints vendor. And this week he has the heavy weapon spring, the heavy magazine spring, which gives you a faster rate of fire, and they have the firearms gear mod blueprint. Now these are the two blueprints that you can pick up. Again, they are power level 32 as always, and these rotate every week. So if you need something to give you a faster rate of fire, or if you need a bit more firearms for your character, then these are a good place to pick them up. The firearms gear mod is a hefty 463 Phoenix credits, so kind of keep that in mind, but it is what it is. So let's go down into the underground and see what is being sold for the people that paid the money. Alright, now in the underground for the veteran agents or the middle of the road agents, actually there is a decent military G36. It has 22% enemy armor damage. It comes with a base damage for my character is 8,168. That will vary depending on your build. It comes with brutal, it comes with talented, and it comes with focus. Now focus is already going to be on your character, but talented is kind of the question mark that you need to make a decision about. It is a decent talent. Having your skill power increased by 8.5% for 13.5 seconds after a kill is pretty good, but the thing is that the electronics requirement is kind of steep. So depending on your build, that may or may not work, and you can always switch that out if you don't like the talent. But you do get brutal, and you do get 22% enemy armor damage, which is pretty good. Now for the newer agents, both of these PP19s aren't bad. The first variant, if you are a rank 10 in the underground, the 182 variant, has a 40% critical hit damage, and it also comes with adept. When using a skill, it increases your critical hit chance, which means that critical hit damage will go up even more, and that's pretty good. Plus you have accuracy, which is pretty good for these kinds of weapons to make sure that they hit where they're supposed to hit. Plus critical hits increase reload speed by 10%. Now when you put that with the critical hit chance of 8% and you get that critical hit damage, it's not too bad. That's actually pretty decent for the PP19. Now, if you're not quite to rank 10 and you're really just kind of getting into the game, the enhanced PP19 is actually not a bad roll either. It comes with 36% critical hit damage, a little bit less, but this one has unforgiving, so that as you lose health, you can still do more damage, which is pretty good. It comes with skilled. Headshot kills with this weapon increase signature skill resources by 10.5%, so if you need to use your super a little more often than let's say a more advanced player who knows their way around the battlefield, then this could be a good thing for you. The only problem is electronics, again, is kind of the sticking point. I really wish that you could swap some of these around so that it was easier to make some of the more electronics or skill power based talents fall in line a little bit better, but it is what it is. And then of course you get hurried, the same as the other PP19. Now if you are a super advanced agent with a rank 40 underground rank, you can always pick up the blueprints, which are the blind knee pads and the firecrest knee pads. Again, blind will be re-rolled or changed into Banshee, so make sure that you know what's going on with Banshee before you spend the hard-earned Phoenix credits on that to see if it's something that you really want. Now let's go into the Dark Zone and see what they have for sale this week. Now in DZ2, getting on to it for the veteran agents, there's actually a decent tactical vest here if you are looking for the reckless talent. Now you have the reckless talent, which gives you 14% more damage, but incoming damage is increased also by 10%. But the good thing is that you have 13% protection from elites, and you have 12% health on kill. Plus you have 46% more ammo, and you have a kind of skill attribute of 2.5 mobile cover damage, but whatever with that one. The rest of this stuff is pretty good. Plus you have firearms of 672. Now there is a similar vest for the newer agent, but I do not recommend this, and actually I don't recommend anything for the newer agent at DZ2. This is pretty bad if you really think about it. Exotic damage resilience plus damage to elites. It has some increased kill XP, but when you look at the version for the advanced agents, Even though it's rank 90, it is a 229, but you get health on kill plus protection from elites. This is very, very good compared to exotic damage, resilience, and just straight damage to elites. So for newer agents, skip on DZ2. For advanced agents that are rank 90 looking for 229 gear, this is not too bad. Alright, let's move on to DZ3 and see what they've got for the weapons this week. Alright, in DZ3, good news for you LMG users. For the newer agent, the military M60E4 with 23% damage to enemies out of cover, has a pretty solid roll actually. It's not too bad. We have Adept. Using a skill increases your critical hit chance by 7.5% for 5 seconds. Now if you can get the roll to actually work out for you, then it is pretty good. If not, you can still keep on moving or maybe re-roll it. You can get Brutal, which gives you extra headshot damage, plus you get Talented. Killing a target with this weapon increases skill power by 6.5% for 12.5 seconds. This is how it should be. Having Talented in this kind of slot for the third position for free, plus Brutal, and then maybe getting something in that first slot would be excellent. Now for the advanced agent at rank 80, it is a 204, but hey, who cares? You get 26% damage to enemy out of cover with this LMG, the RPK-74, plus you get Brutal. Meticulous, if you could get it to work, not too bad. It lets you fire a bit faster, plus you get Determined. Killing targets reduces skill cooldowns by 9%. This means you can use your skills much more often and do more damage if you're using Pulse or Smart Cover, which isn't bad. Now for the blueprints for this week, of course we have Valkyria, we have this crappy garbage P4 Storm pistol, and then you have the custom M870 shotgun, which is a harder hitting, slower firing shotgun. If you need one of those, the blueprint is here. You can pick that up. Alright, that's pretty much it for the recommendations for this week in DZ3. Let's move on to DZ4 and see what kinds of mods they have for sale. Now in DZ4, when it comes to mods, I'm not so sure that the mods for this week are even worth talking about, so let's kind of skip over these. There's an electronics mod, a performance mod with some critical hit chance, kind of meh. But the blueprints that they have for this week are the firearms gear mod, which is exactly the same as the one being sold in the special blueprints vendor in the base. So if you want to spend Phoenix credits or if you'd rather spend Dark Zone credits, it's the exact same thing. There you go. Plus there's a performance gear mod, so if you want to pick one of those up, you can go ahead and do so here. And that is about it. There's really nothing I would recommend here unless you want to pick up one of these blueprints. Other than that, keep it moving. Let's move on to DZ5 and see what they've got this week for the weapon attachments. Alright, now in DZ5, if you are a more advanced agent, the muzzle brake at rank 40 that's being sold is not too bad. Unfortunately, it is a power level 31 item, but hey, it's got 33.5% stability, 7.5% critical hit chance. This might be pretty good if you're running an SMG or if you're running an assault rifle. This is not that bad. Now the other things for the newer agents are not as good. Horizontal stability, increased threat, and accuracy and reduced threat. Don't really recommend those. But if you're in the market for a blueprint, the CQB-SS, what is this, optical scope with headshot damage. If you haven't picked this up, you really need to get one of these. This is the power level 32 plus the quick release magazine for speed reload. I can say pass on. That's straight garbage. But this scope is pretty good, and I think most agents already have one of these on their weapon. So if you don't have one of these, you really may want to look into picking one of these up. Now let's go into DC6, finish this out, and keep it moving. Alright, let's go. Alright, in DZ6, the joke is back 3 weeks in a row. Gloves of the Nomad. Are you joking me? Alright, here we go. Critical hit damage 39%, LMG damage 460%, 11% damage to elites, plus 8.5% turret damage. If you're rocking an LMG plus a fire turret, man, this thing is going to be your baby. 3 weeks in a row. They're really pushing this Nomad, man. They are not joking. 3 weeks in a row, 3 weeks solid. Nomad gloves have been the kings of the DZ6 vendor. Now, if you're looking for some blueprints, you have the Final Measure gloves, Alpha Bridge mask, holster of the Nomad, Alpha Bridge chest, Final Measure knee pads, and the knee pads of the Nomad. All of these are rank 50s, and they give you a 214 gear score item. You do need to be a rank 30 for this 191 pair of Nomad gloves. It is a little bit steep, but for the kind of newer agents, I think rank 30 isn't really that hard to hit if you have been grinding it out for a couple of weeks. And if you haven't been in the higher end dark zones and you're still in the 191 bracket or lower, this may not be too hard to achieve at rank 30. So it might be a pretty good investment for the future, especially if you're rocking those LMG that are being sold in DZ3 this week. So there's a lot of good things for LMG users this week. Go ahead and go at it. I can't believe 3 weeks in a row for these Nomad gloves. This is crazy. All right, so that is pretty much it. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been supporting the channel lately. You guys have been amazing when it comes to the real talk that happened yesterday. I'm really surprised at so much positive feedback, so many great comments. I shouldn't be surprised because usually the real talks always drum up quite a bit of conversation, and things are also very constructive usually when it comes to the real talk stuff, and people are pretty much on the same page. So really appreciate you guys sharing that video as much as you have, and doing everything you could to make sure that the developers and even some of the larger YouTubers kind of check out the channel and know what's going on. So keep remembering to hit the like button. The like button, actually, I found out, really helps spread the word on these videos. So if you can just keep hitting those like buttons and sharing, it would really help the channel a lot, helping it to grow and hopefully drumming up more attention to some of the things that gamers like us and the real fans really appreciate and are looking forward to with the Division, because a lot of people don't want to see the game die and they want to see the game get better. So let's just keep doing what you're doing, promote, and keep hitting that like button and sharing and subscribing if you're new. So appreciate to everyone who's been doing their best and holding it down. You guys are true MVPs and champions. Shout out to Jeff White, who's been kind of ragging me on these gloves of the Nomad. Sith Cobra 12, you the man. I can't believe it, 3 weeks in a row. This is crazy. All right, so until the next video, I'll catch you guys later. This is Khan, TDK, Mr. So Real. I'm gone.